was only second best last night, the opening night of the Burger King Invitational Tournament. Venom lost to a former number one in Julian Michael Jackson White at Sky Mall Courts in Haggett Hall. In a nail-biting contest, White, in the long pants, saved 3 match points and survived through 5 deuces before prevailing 26-24 and taking the $500 top prize. Now, in the one-day format, White had drawn a bye in the round of 64, disposed of Abby Clark 21-10 in the round of 32, defeated Davian Taylor at 15 in the round of 16, Emar Edwards at 10 in the quarterfinals, and Curtis Jones in a close 24-22 in the semis. Now the second series is set for next weekend. In basketball, the top 2 seeds both got victories last night when the Co-Operators General Insurance Basketball Premier League semifinal series began at Community College. First, the number 1 ranked Orange 3 Pinelands defeated Barbados Hilton Resort Warriors. The first half between Pinelands and Warriors was very productive. Ian Alexander with the outside J for the Pine, he had 14. But Corey McDonald said, "I'll see your 2, and here's a 3. 3 of his joint game-high 28 points. Justin Maloney for Warriors as well. Here with the floater, he had 11. A turnover by Steve Seeley leads to a fast break dunk by Ricardo Toussaint. Now with the score locked at 31 all, Nicholas King drains the open 3. He had 11. Another turnover for the Pine, this time by Jeremy Gill. And Aru in for another slam. He had 10. Charles Vanterpool's dunk, however, was more impressive. He goes baseline and over Jamar Headley, 2 of his 18. Then Pineland showing team basketball, making that extra pass from Gill to Vanterpool and back to Gill as the Pine were up by just 1 at halftime. Gill still had it going on in the second, around the back to leave Spanner grabbing at air. Then the fake leaves McDonald flat-footed and he finishes with the layup. He too had a game-high 28 points. Next time up though, the path to the basket wasn't that easy. McDonald with the hard playoff foul, which Gill took exception to. But it was all good. Warriors trailing with time winding down, and Spanner with the basket and the foul, part of his 15-point night. 12 seconds to go, Warriors down by 5. They need a quick 3, then a defensive stop. But it's them who get stopped. The turnover. Pinelands winning 82-77. Then in the other semi, the number 2 seed, Station Hill Cavaliers defeated Urban Vibes St. John Sonics. The Hunt brothers led the Cavs in scoring in game 1. This is younger brother Joel getting the basket and the foul. He had 13 points. For Sonics, there was one main go-to man. That's the big guy, Akeem Marsh, fighting hard for his position and nails the jumper. Now this is playoff basketball. Nothing is going to be easy, not even boxing out for rebounds. Marsh and Jemai Puckcrane going at each other after this play. Of course, we'll have more from the 2 guys later. But more playoff basketball. Terrell Clark thought he had the breakaway dunk, but Saeed Norville said, "Not today." It's a clean block, but Clark would fall hard on his left shoulder. Next play, another steal for Sonics. This time, Clark leaves it for Decino Corbin, but the older brother, Darren, gets the weak stuff out of there. Not everything though was weak. Marsh going coast to coast and getting the basket and the foul from Kevin Seeley as the Sonics led by 2 points at the half. On resumption, Darren drives hard to the hole. He gets 2. That's 2 of his team high 16. Now back to Marsh and Puckcrane. Marsh posting up with Puckcrane all over him. Yet he gets the jumper to drop. With all the physical play, there was still the outside game though. Darren with the 3. Still though, the hallmark of this game was taking it to the rim. Corey Howard with the baseline slam. Assistance for the Sonics came from Stefan Clark. He had 11. And also from Shane Whitaker with 14. These two from the post-up. Now back to Marsh and Patcrin. And Marsh getting the better of the Cavs big man on this dunk. He just muscled his way to the rim and shrugs off the block attempt by Patcrin. Marsh would also nail the free throw to complete the three-point play. That's a game-high 23 for him. Now the proverbial nail in the coffin came from this three from way outside from Joseph Anand Thorne. This carried the Cavs to a 77-64 Game 1 victory. Game 2 in both series is tomorrow evening at BCC. The Angela Gibbs Anna Shepherd zone may not be serving up the most competitive action in the Pine Hill Primary School's netball competition, but for those teams who have been winning, they have been doing so by huge margins. With a look at two of the latest games played at Bridgefield today is CBC's Anne-Marie Burke.
Good Shepherd and Welch is playing in this one. Good Shepherd with possession, and in the circle, Ashika Broom and Shakasia Watson share the duties. Watson gets her rebound, and this time it goes in. Welch is on the other end, missing a player, but still keeping in the game. Goal attack Shadia Grisette nets. Welch has actually scored only 2 goals in the entire game. This was the second. Grisette gets the obstruction advantage, and sure enough, she scores. But it was Good Shepherd to hold on to the first half lead of 3-2. And into the second, they totally shut down the Welch's side. From center to circle like clockwork, Watson completing it. Good Shepherd would take the win at 8-2. Watson netting 6 from 14. Broom 2 from 4. Another game at Bridgefield featured Holy Innocents and St. Elizabeth. And even with foolish errors, St. Elizabeth was totally outplayed. You could also say having Jalecia White to the circle was quite an advantage. Actually, White and goal attack Devik Balingi had a field day in the circle. There was just no real defense. As Welch's made it a walk in the park 13-0 win over St. Elizabeth. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
The weeks and months may have passed, but the performances of Barbadian athletes in the first half of 2016 are still being celebrated. Over the weekend at Kensington Oval, the National Sports Council hosted a special reception in honor of the achievements. On hand with the National Under-16 netball team, the various Carifta Game squads, and members of the champion World Cup West Indies Under-19s, women and men's teams. Minister of Sports, Stephen Lashley, told the athletes that they were now role models for future generations.
Of course, is extra special because we are celebrating 50 years of independence. And our athletes across many disciplines continue to rise to the challenges of regional and international competition. And they do so given all Barbadians hope that our future remain in very, very safe and sound hands. And that is good because we have to build on what our achievements are today in order to continue to deliver excellence. So in a big way, we continue to be craftsmen of our fate.
Representing the International Olympic Committee was Sir Austin Seeley, the founder of the Carifta Games, and he provided some words of advice.
I want to encourage all the youngsters of the Caribbean to aim high, work hard, remain focused, dedicated, and good things will come your way. Others will tell you about the dangers of drugs. And again, the officials, we are not so much fighting the drug cheats, but we are trying to protect the clean athletes. In a couple of weeks, we have this year's Olympic Games in Rio. I'm sure Barbados will be there. And I can think of at least 3 who are still within the Carifta ranks, not just athletics, but who will hopefully be on stage in Brazil. And I like to tell the media that, you know, for a small country like Barbados, just having people qualify for those games is quite an achievement.
Tonight's Olympic moment, making the transition from juniors to seniors, will no doubt be a big leap. Beijing Olympic Moments, brought to you by Sagicor General Insurance, Sandals Barbados, and Good Time Snacks. Sydney 2000, Barbados' curved 400-meter gold medalist Tanya Oxley makes her Olympic debut.
This is heat 7 of the women's 400 meters. Tanya Oxley of Barbados races out of lane 3 in this event. Michelle Collins of the United States is in 4. They're ready for the start. There they go. Pretty even start. Kotlярova of Russia has gone out very quickly. Michelle Collins of the United States has started well, and Tanya Oxley of Barbados has gone with her. The two runners on the inside, Georgieva of Bulgaria and Kojic of Bosnia and Herzegovina also started well. But Kotlярova of Russia is running really well at this point and may have the overall advantage. Michelle Collins is beginning to accelerate, and the fast-striding Tanya Oxley has some work to do now coming into the stretch. But Kotlярova of Russia leads.
This is on. Carry.
Here comes
Microphone
Zana
on.
Medina of Lithuania. On the outside, that's the Indian, in fact, Bina Mall.
First of all, I got out really good, and I was trying to catch the girl in lane 4 so I could catch up on her to catch up my stagger, but and try to pick back up for the last 150, which is what I usually do, and I did that, but it was still too late at that time.
Beijing Olympic Moments, brought to you by Sagicor General Insurance, Sandals Barbados, and Good Time Snacks. I'll be back at 8:30 with more sports on CBC Sports. But up next, Business Report.